Hello, welcome to MJ's Mystical Tarot, where tarot and true crime come together to try and get some answers on missing persons, unsolved murders, and cold cases. Today I want to do a reading on the death of Paulette Gebara Farah. I hope I pronounced that right. She's a little girl that was found deceased at the bottom of her bed, I believe in Mexico. I will have more information in the description, but she was only found about 8 days after they believe she passed away. But it was not, even though her mother gave an interview sitting on the bed, they had somebody come over to the house and sleep in that bed. Nobody noticed this little girl's body there for over a week. To me, that is suspicious, but it was deemed an accident that she got wrapped up in her blankets, and I believe the parents were people of importance in Mexico. Again, I'm saying Mexico. I could be wrong about the location. I do apologize if that's wrong. I remember hearing about this case years ago on, I think it was a documentary on TV, like Dateline or something like that. I don't recall. And it's always sat with me because it doesn't feel like that's the truth. So I want to call in the energy, the spirit, and the spirit guides around Paulette Farah, Paulette Farah, Paulette Farah, please, and thank you. And I want to know the truth of what happened to Paulette. What really happened to Paulette? Hidden network. I'm trying a new setup, so I hope that is on. Caregiver. Okay. Just gonna check to make sure you can see that. Perfect. Okay. What really happened to Paulette Farah, please, and thank you. Distracted lines, so the father might have been distracted by business or socializing or something. What happened? What really happened? What's the truth behind her death? Travel, so were they getting ready to travel or coming back from traveling? Whew. A dead end. It is a bit of a dead end because the police aren't pursuing it. They believe it was a accidental, she rolled up in her blankets in her sleep kind of thing. A car. Okay. What really happened? Impersonation. And one more. Mastermind. Very interesting. Now, I'm not surprised that it's not coming up, it was an accident or, that sort of thing. Caregiver doesn't surprise me. Distracted, that doesn't surprise me. The dead end doesn't surprise me. But a car, impersonation, and mastermind does surprise me. Well, not really the mastermind. I kind of felt like something was being covered up, but we will go on. Can we have some clarification? What really happened to Paulette? How did she really end up deceased? Who's involved? Ooh. Okay, so we've got hope, praying, yearning, realization, awareness, finding out, coming to light. So maybe something will be found out. Journal, writing, diary, keeping notes. So maybe there's written, maybe somebody wrote about it in their diary. Magnetic, Unexplainable pull, can't resist. So, could the distracted lion have been distracted by another woman? What else do we need to know? Paulette Farah. Pressure cooker, rage, ready to explode. So was the mastermind or caregiver somebody who got upset easily and exploded? Twin flames, the one, mirrored souls, pledged. Denial, not facing truth, irrational reasoning. So somebody's not facing the truth of what happened. What really happened? Who's really responsible? I feel like these want to come. Soulmate, similar, friendship, romantic partner. So twin flames energy again. I'll move this one over just to synchronicities, signs. Also, I'm getting kind of crossroads, dead end. Recalling, reminiscing, memories returning. So the parents could be remembering what happened or thinking back to before she passed away. Verge, about to reveal or confess. So there could be somebody who's ready to speak. Triggers, name, car, place. So car came in again. So did something happen to her before she got home that happened in a car? Lockbox, closed in, trapped, frustrated. Well, when they found her, she was trapped in her blankets. I will insert a photo of her bed, not when she's in it. And I do believe it's circled as to where her body had been found. It is a very complicated story. I believe A Wicked World covered it, and maybe Crime with Kate, I don't remember. I will double check and link their videos below if they did, because they're both excellent channels if you are into true crime. What else do we need to know about Paulette? What happened? Ooh, the assassin, ruthlessness, conviction. So somebody was ruthless. Paulette Gebara Farah, what really happened to her? What's the truth? The witch, experimentation, rebellion. So were they experimenting with something? Whoa, that one really wants to come. The alchemist, balance, invention, destruction. And that always gives me drugs. So did they put something in her drink or her, I think she had possible medical issues that made certain things, I don't know what they were, but she had to sleep with something on her, like almost tied down in a way because of this. So was she on medication for this and they might have slipped something in? And this one wants to come. The sailor, new influences, wanderlust. Again, new influences, magnetic. Was somebody distracted by a new person or new interests? Storyteller, viewpoints, control. I think the family are controlling the narrative of what happened, trying to make it off that it was just an accident in her sleep. The queen, determination, sacrifice, so mother energy to me. The shepherd, celebration, family. Family knows more than they're letting on. One or two more. The masquerade, hiding your true self, projection. I get mask, fingerprint images, and the diviner, divine timing evaluation. So maybe things will come to light in divine timing. What else do we need to know about Paulette Gebara Farah? Finality, farewells, leave behind, closure. But I also get somebody wearing a mask. Again, the most scary, somebody's wearing a mask. They're not revealing their true self. Possibilities, free-spirited, adventure, risks. Pain, apprehensive, afraid, cautious. Were the parents maybe tired of taking care of a child who had perhaps some type of special needs? That's a theory that's been tossed around. Obsession, infatuation, adoration, addiction. Again, did somebody have a new obsession? Either a person or an activity or something to distract them from the family. Open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. She was vulnerable. She was in bed sleeping supposedly. But is that really where things happened? What's the truth? Intimacy, bonding, sensual, confiding. So will somebody confide in someone about the truth? Let's see what else. What else do we really need to know about Paulette's story? Somebody who is insecure or is insecure, crying over you. The mother was seen crying at the funeral. Whether it's real tears or not, I don't know. What else? What really happened to Paulette? A hater. Hidden things, putting things together so something might come to light. Envy, betrayal, deceit, traitor, not to be trusted. So who is the traitor? Who's the one behind the mask that we can't that they can't trust? I'm picking up who's lying. Anything else about Paulette? What really happened? Cutting ties. Outdated, discarded, old news. This is an older case, and it is outdated because the police aren't looking into it. They feel they have it as a solved case, that it was an accidental death. Dirt digging, we need to find the dirt to find the truth. One or two more. Thief. But nobody had broken into the home, but you don't have to be from outside the house to be a thief. She had caregivers, they had nannies to help take care of her, and I don't know if they also helped with the sister, so could they have been a thief? Could they have brought somebody in as a thief? Setting the record straight. Who will set the record straight? And chaos. So they woke up, or they discovered this and it was chaos. They had to figure out how to, they had to figure out how to cover it up. Why they had to cover it up, I don't know. What else do we need to know? The truth about Paulette's death, please and thank you. Healing energy, I hope you can see that. I am working with a new angle here. What else? Paulette. How did she really die? Who's actually involved? Abundance. The family were a family of means, I believe, so they had abundance. Sexual energy. I don't like that one. And honoring your energy. Anything else we need to know the truth about what happened to Paulette? Though I suppose the sexual energy might not be with her. It could be the distracted lion, this obsession, this magnetic, the twin flame and all that that's been coming up. That could be the sexual energy. Maybe the parents were distracted with other soulmates rather than their family. And interestingly enough, the father's last name is Gebara, where the mother's last name is Farah. And Paulette's name is Paulette Gebara Farah, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So it is interesting to me that her father's last name is in the middle and the mother's last name is last. Now, I don't know, maybe that's normal where they're from. It's different from here in Canada. What else do we need to know? What's the truth about how Paulette passed away? Anchor, work, profession, settling down, durability, stability, long lasting. So were mom and dad distracted with their work, their profession, rather than their children? Ooh, and a couple came here, okay. Fox, selfishness, trickery, wrongness, clever, suspicion, caution. So somebody was being selfish and wrong. Ship, travel, again, we got travel before. Vehicles, car again, movement, journey. So did something happen in the car or before they got in the car and they brought her home to make it look like something happened there? And garden, public, network. Again, we got a hidden network here. We're getting a network here. So something did not happen at the house. That is for sure. One or two cards from this. What really happened to Paulette? What do we need to know about her death and who's involved and where it took place? A butterfly. So transformation. So we know she has passed on. Anything else? Backpack. So, and that kind of looks like a blood stain to me. So did they hide evidence, take evidence out of the home before they called the authorities? Especially if she didn't pass away in the bed or when they, her body wasn't found for over a week. So they had time. They could have easily, if something happened the night before and they delayed calling, they could have easily gotten rid of evidence. They could have said a thief came in and, or they could be trying to but then they didn't make it look like a thief, but I don't know. Anything else about where she really passed away? This is giving me the all-seeing eye. So there was a witness. So caregiver, female caregiver, either the mother or one of the nannies could be involved, either in the cover-up. And this looks like a tree to me, but I also see like a hand, water, I will link more information about her case below, in case you're interested. And then this one came. I see a face here, but this is giving me somebody very conflicted, chaotic mind, maybe on the verge of a mental break is what I'm hearing. And these are just, this one's abstract, this one's tools, this one abstract, abstract, emotion themed. So these are like narratives like for story writing or that therapists use. So it's just an image that's open to your interpretation. And I chose not to write any keywords on the back of them because I have gotten this in other cases, and sometimes I pick up different things depending on the case. And this is giving me possibly somebody on the verge of a mental break for this particular case. Let's go to some tarot cards. What else? What really happened to Paulette? Who's involved? Where did she really pass away? What do we need to know? I'm not going to ask about justice because I don't think justice will be served. Four of Cups, contemplation, feeling disconnected, discontent, and bored. And this is a person on a rock by water, and this is giving water energy. What else do we need to know? So I'm getting from this that maybe both parents were disconnected. Maybe they were discontent with their relationship with each other, bored. Maybe they were contemplating, maybe one or both were contemplating leaving each other, whether the other was aware of it or not. Maybe they were discontent with having to take care of a child that had health issues. What else do we need to know about Paulette? What really happened? Page of Pentacles, ambitious and diligent, goal-oriented, loyal and faithful planning. So was the mother and the father so ambitious with their career and goal-oriented that they didn't feel they had time to worry about a child that had health issues that might become more and more dependent on them as she got older and she became a liability? Page of Cups. Whew. Dreamer and naive, innocence, inner child, head in the clouds. So who was naive? Who had their head in the clouds? And glass of wine. So were the parents maybe intoxicated and not aware? Maybe it was an accident, but they were intoxicated and didn't notice an issue with her before it was too late. The Three of Wands, looking ahead, confidence and growth, foresight. So this is giving me that maybe this was planned. I mean, this one said planning, so maybe they did plan this ahead. Ten of Swords, defeat and failure, bitterness and betrayal, exhaustion, collapse, giving up. So were they exhausted with taking care of a child who had health issues? Were they giving up? They betrayed her. They didn't take good care of her. Anything else? One or two more for Paulette? What really happened? King of Wands, leadership and visions, bold and daring, big ego and optimism. So fatherly energy. The father knows more than he's letting on. The Star, hope and healing, inspiration and faith, positivity and wish. And for me, this is like this was her star. She had wishes and hopes for her life that got dimmed out. Even though it came in the upright position, that's what I'm getting from it. Whew, that one. And that one. Whew, death. Transformation, endings, change, transition, and release. And this one came in reverse. Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, abundance, prosperity, security, and stability. Whew. Tarot and oracle cards are always open to interpretation. If you interpreted these differently, please comment below. I will do more videos on Paulette because like I said, this case really, the fact that her mother gave an interview in her room on her bed when her body was supposedly at the end really bothers me. I don't think she was there at the time, because I can't imagine they wouldn't have known, but I digress from that. If you have any questions you would like me to ask in a future reading, please comment them below. If you have a case suggestion for another video, please list that below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I will list my true crime playlist down below and my international true crime playlist down below. Like I said, I'm pretty sure A Wicked World did one. Crime with Kate may have. I will link their videos if they did them down below. And I will mention, as I did say, I will put a bit more information on her down below. I will try and see if there is any like number for her country in case you have information on her case. I'm not familiar with how international places deal with that. I know in Canada we have Crime Stoppers that you can do anonymously, but if I find anything, I will put that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye.